So now let's start to build our magic card generator system. So here we have basically the overall architecture of our system. So we start with the card name, like Ancient Dragon here, an example. We pass it to an illustration generator. We got the illustration. Then we pass the same name to the parameters generation. And we got the card parameters like title or name, color, cost, etc. And then we get both of these informations and put them into a render module to finally render our card. So we basically need to build this block here, and this block here. So now for the start, we're going to build first the illustration generator. So let's start here, illustration generator. Okay, so first we start by importing the modules necessary, like the OS and the OpenAI module to our library so we can perform the requests to the OpenAI API. If you don't have this library installed, you probably need to do something like pip install OpenAI. But I already have this library installed here. The next thing we need to set our OpenAI key, API key. So here we need to set it here, but I already have my API key set, so I won't perform this operation. But if you don't have this key already set, you need to run the cell with your key on this inside this bracket. And well, so okay, so with our modules imported, the next thing to do is to create the function that will generate our images. So generate image, and then prompt model. Here we need to call the OpenAI, create an OpenAI object, and then use this object to perform a request to the API. So response, client, images, generate model. We pass the model, we pass our prompt, pass the number of images we want to generate, and finally we pass the size of the image. Here we are going to use 1024 by 1024 size because at the time of this recording it's the only size available. But for our card, we probably 256 by 256 is enough, but unfortunately we have to pay a little more because this is the only size available by now. So we return response. All right, so let's try our generator. So we are going to type, I don't know, dragon. And for the model, we are going to use first DALL-E 2, but its quality is not good at all. But let's execute this for educational purpose, but you already know that the quality is not good. So okay, we click here on this link and we can see that it generates something that is not a dragon at all. So for this task, we're going to use DALL-E 3 that has a very much better quality result. Right, so we open here, and yeah, that's definitely better. So we're going to use DALL-E 3 for our experiments. Well, as we can see with this function, we just got the metadata for our generated image, but we actually need the image. We actually need the proper object. So for this, we need to load it. We need to generate it and then load it in the memory. So to do that, we're going to import a few more libraries. Bytes. You're going to import pill. And pill, maybe if you don't have pill installed, you probably will need to do something like pip install pillow or something. Bytes.io is a Python native library, so no problem with this. And then we are going to use requests. Requests also is not a native library, so maybe you have to do something like this. So we import it, and then we are going to define another function that this time generates our image and return the actual image object. So we go get card illustration. We use card name, and then here we need to gather the image metadata. So we are going to call the function previously defined. So card name, the tree model. From this metadata, we are going to load the URL, metadata, data, index URL. This index here is because in principle we could generate more than one image by using a single call, but at the time of this recording, dn just works as one. But anyways, we have to place this index, because in the future, when we be able to, for example, use 10 here, we are going to reference the image generated by the index. But since there's only one image, we refer it with the 0 index. So now we do card image bytes.io get image URL dot content, and then we return the card image. So here we are first we're gathering the image data using request.get. Then we will store this in memory using bytes.io, and then finally loading the image in the memory, in the image object from pillow, by using image.open. So we finally get our image. So now that we got that we defined the function that will generate our images, you can get card illustration, card name. Let's try again dragon, and then show what is inside this variable. All right. This is a very awesome dragon here. Okay, so basically with this we created the image illustration generator, we just call an OpenAI API to the DALL-E API to generate the images for us. We use DALL-E 2 because DALL-E 2 doesn't have a good quality. So this step is simple. It's we basically just call the API and loaded the image in their memory. So in the next video, we are going to go a step forward and start to design the parameters generator of our Magic the Gathering card. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.